Hello friends. So let's get into it. I don't know why I'm so happy. I'm really excited to be talking to you. Why do I sound like I'm giving a speech? It's 2:55 a.m. I just ate some leftover food and I'm feeling really loopy, so I thought it would be a great time to tell you about how I got into Harvard. But like, on a serious note, I've seen a lot in the news about college admissions scandal where like a lot of rich kids and their really rich parents like paid for their kids to get like into college, and I was like, wow, because I'm, you know, off the bat an international, low income, fast gen. I know that there must be people out there who are kind of like, that's it, like there's no point, I don't even stand a chance. But I just want to say that if you genuinely want to come to a school, it doesn't have to be Harvard, Harvard's just a name, but any kind of good school, and you come from a similar background to me, like I made it, and I promise you I did not pay my way here because I don't have the money to do that. But you know, I made it, so you could probably make it too. And yeah, I'm gonna try not to like waffle my way through this video, so without any further ado, I'm gonna tell you how I kind of came to be here and what my personal journey was. And yeah, I'm gonna leave some links or some like time descriptions down in the description bar so you can like skip ahead to different parts. But yeah, so let's go to the first one. So the story starts, I think I was around like 12 when I decided that I really wanted to go to Harvard, and I don't even know how that happened. I think I'd seen it in a film, probably Legally Blonde or something, I don't know. And I was like, that looks really cool, an American university seems like really fun, and there's all this stuff about community, and I really just wanted to experience that. And I remember going online and looking it up, and then like realizing that American universities costed way more than the British ones. And you know, I still remember telling my brother like, hey, like I really want to apply to Harvard, but it's gonna cost like, I think it was something like $65,000 a year or something. And then my brother was like, oh, like you can't do that, like you're so selfish, like why would you even think of like applying? And then 12-year-old me, I still remember I cried my eyes out, and then I was like, okay fine, like I'll just apply to Oxford or something, like we'll see. And like I didn't even know if I was gonna get it, so I say that, but I was just like completely dejected and I didn't really think about it again. And then flash forward to when I was like 16-ish, and I was like in my second to last year of high school. In the UK, the way it works is like your last 2 years of high school are called like sixth form. So I was in sixth form, and they were like getting us started about thinking about universities and all that kind of stuff. And I was like really stressed out because in the UK, you have to like choose what degree you're gonna go into. And I had done really random A-levels. I did maths, French, history, art. And then I self-taught the AS module for further maths, and then I did an EPQ, which is an extended project qualification, where you basically write like a dissertation. So I think my paper ended up being like 60 pages-ish, and it was about women's rights in Afghanistan. So basically I was studying like a really eclectic mix of things, and what it meant was like I couldn't go to university for like maths because I didn't do like, oops, that was my laptop. So, oh, like I couldn't go and like randomly study engineering because I hadn't done like the physics part, like I didn't do physics at A-level. And so I was really frustrated, and I was like, I don't feel like I really got to explore things as much as I wanted to. And so I kind of was like, there has to be a way. And then around the same time, there was this US college fair in London. So I remember so vividly now, like dragging my dad to that, and was like, I gotta give it a shot, like I just want to see, like there has to be something, like it's worth just going. And I went there, and I like talked to a bunch of different representatives from all these different colleges. I think over like, definitely over 100, but probably way more than that, like colleges were like present, including like Harvard, Yale, and the big ones. And then there was this table there, and it was called like the Sutton Trust table. And at that table, I like bumped into this lady, and she was like, oh, like, I was like, what is this? And she was like, oh, like, are you trying to get into college in America? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, are you low income? And I was like, yeah. So basically she gave me a flyer and was like, you know, like we do this program, it's called the Sutton Trust US Programme, it's in collaboration with the Fulbright Commission, and the Fulbright Commission is like this kind of partnership between the UK and the US for like educational things, I think. I will link it down below so you can like learn more about it, but I know that they do like grad school stuff too. And basically they have this program where they take on around 175 British school kids like who are in year 12, so second to last year of high school, and they teach them all about applying to the US. And I was like, wow, like that's amazing. And in particular, it's aimed at people who are from low-income backgrounds, who a lot of us were like first gen, and yeah, it was just, and like had done like okay, like, you know, had done a good job at GCSEs and AS. So I was like, wow, like this seems really great. And from that day onwards, like I still remember having the flyer, and like every day I was like checking on the website, like, oh my god, have the applications opened? And my dad every day was like, have you done it? Have you done it? I'm like, look, it isn't open yet. Like I can't do it if it's not open. Anyways, like I ended up applying to that, and 175 of us got in. This was like kind of like the first step for me in terms of like how I got into Harvard personally. And so if you are from the UK, I would highly recommend like Googling the Sutton Trust US Programme, and I know that they do summer schools as well. The main point of the Sutton Trust US Programme was to educate us about what even applying to America was. So like we had demonstrated an interest in the application and in going to America through like applying for the program. And the first residential was just like all of this information just like chucked at us. So it was like, you know, what is an American college education like? And that's when I realized like, this is something I really want. Like, oh, like you don't have to know what your major is going to be until after you get that, and you can pick like, you get to choose like every semester kind of like what courses you're going to do. That's so cool. Like that's exactly what I want to do, because I was so terrified of applying to university in the UK because I just didn't know like what I wanted to study, and it was like too much pressure. The whole other kind of part of that program was telling us all about like the financial aid aspect, and this was the first time that I realized I could go to school in America and not have to worry about the money side of things, because from like being 12 up until I was like 17, I was under the impression that if I wanted to go to America, I had to pay like $250,000 in tuition fees, as opposed to like staying in the UK and getting a government loan. That was honestly one of the key moments for me, because I realized that my dream to study in America could actually be a thing. And then I was like, oh, like I'm definitely gonna do this. Anyways, like through the Sutton Trust, I think there were like, from the original 175, we did some testing, and we did like a mock ACT exam, and then they whittled it down to 150, and then of the 150, I think around like 80 people actually ended up applying to universities in the US. And even then, they were just a really great program. Alongside like telling us everything we needed to know, they like paid for all of our testing. So I took the ACT, and they paid for me to do the exam, so I didn't have to worry about paying for it, which was great because I only did it once. And I know something that I see a lot is people doing the exams over and over again. But really, like, if you study hard enough and you get an okay grade, like, don't worry about it. Like, I got a 33 on my ACT, and I know like people probably got like 36s, and it's fine. Like the grades are only one part of the application. Got a 33 on the ACT, took the ACT with this program, ended up being one of the final like 150, went on the summer school. It was really great. Got to see campus for the first time and kind of fell in love with it. I was like, I can really see myself here. And then after that, I got back to the UK, and this was my senior year of high school, and that's when I started like working on the application. And I did my personal essay. So the Common App is the American version of like the general kind of application system. And so I had that filled out, and then I did my 2 personal essays. One was for the Common App, that would have gone to all the schools that I applied to. And then the other one was the Harvard specific one, and my Harvard specific one is like publicly available, so I will link that down below as well, so definitely check that out. I know a lot of people are interested in like extracurriculars and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, like when I was 12, I didn't think I could apply to Harvard, so like I did not go through high school being like, I need to like write a book and cure cancer and like be the president of every single club in my school. I just honestly, like, I did what I loved and what I could with the things that I had available to myself. So some of my extracurriculars were like, oh, like I played in a band. I played the violin and the piano. I was really lucky that I was able to do that. My parents paid for me to learn those instruments because they didn't get to when they were growing up, and I definitely like wanted to as a kid, and so I'm really grateful that even though, you know, the financial stuff was a struggle at times, like I'm really happy that they, like I was basically, I could do that and I could afford to do that, so that was really great. And because of that, and because I knew that so much money had gone into like getting me that education and it wasn't like easy money, I like would play in a band and then in an orchestra, and so like my parents could see me perform, which was really great. And other things I did, I also like learned how to play the tuba and the euphonium, and that was through like this free brass band that was started at my school. So I got to learn those two instruments for free. I started my own little like political art club. It was really small. This is what I mean by you don't have to like, at least the things that I've seen on YouTube, a lot of people are doing like these huge things that even now as a junior in college, I'm like, wow, like these people were doing a lot. Like, like they were the presidents of these huge like organizations, but you know, my school, I don't know, I just didn't have like the opportunity to do those things. And so like me starting my own little art club was like, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's like hugely impressive or anything, but like it's something that I could do within my means. Wasn't altar server at church. I volunteered on the weekends like at a tuition center where I tutored kids. I tutored kids English and maths privately from home and was paid for that. And so those were basically the main things that I did. I did do a little bit of like Model UN and debate, but like I say that with such a like grain of salt because like we didn't really have Model UN at my school. I just remember one year my history teacher was like, oh, there's this thing called Model UN and I think you would really like it, and I was like, oh sure, like I'll try. And like the public speaking thing again was like, oh there's this public speaking competition, do you want to do it? And I was like, oh yeah, like I'll do it. It wasn't like, you know, there was like an official team and I like joined the team and like made my way up through the ranks. No, like if an opportunity came my way, then I would just take it and see how it went. Grades wise, you know, I did try really hard in school. Like I said, like my parents work really, really hard. I, you know, would see them get up at like 4 a.m. to go to work, and I wasn't just gonna like go to school and not try. And so like I will say proudly that I did well in school, and I got you know, I got 10 A stars at GCSE, and I got 2 A stars? I think I got 2 A stars at A level and 2 A's and an A in the AS thing that I did. So yeah, I did well, I'm not gonna lie. I know I did a decent job, but I also know from like some of my friends, grades aren't everything, and I do think that like my being good at the kind of academic stuff might have made up for like, you know, the other things that perhaps like I don't have any like outstanding extracurricular achievements. Like I didn't ever win some national award or even an international award. And so there has to be like those kind of trade-offs too. Yeah, so I applied Ali Action. I just applied to the one school, and actually funnily enough I had also applied to Oxford, and I had applied for PPE, which is Politics, Philosophy and Economics. And I can make a whole video about like the UK side of things and what my UK admissions results were. And I got rejected from Oxford I think 2 weeks before I found out about Harvard. I just remember feeling like, oh, like if Oxford doesn't want me, then why would Harvard want me? Because that doesn't make any sense. Lo and behold, Oxford missed out because I got into Harvard instead. On December 10th of 2015, I think. All I really wanted to illustrate with this video was that I didn't have this like long predetermined path to what I was like trying to do. I really hope, I don't know, I just wanted to make this video to show people that you don't have to like do crazy things or like, you know, pretend that you're on the rowing team when you're actually just making YouTube videos and not really even going to school. Ooh, was that shade? I don't know. Don't feel discouraged, basically. Like, you should apply. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take, and I really feel and want you to know, if you're sitting on the other side of this camera or screen, I just feel like if you have worked your butt off your whole life and have really genuinely tried and have done things because you genuinely like them, then why the hell not? I feel like we're getting into the realm of like really sappy and overly emotional. So let's do this. Let's say goodbye. What? Thank you so much for watching. Please, please, please leave me comments down below with questions. I'm happy to answer like all questions. Like I just want to be useful to you and be able to like, you know, help you out with anything. If you want like videos, if you want a video that's like specifically like what do I think Harvard looks for in the application, like me going through my application, I'm happy to do that. If you want videos about the essay, happy to do that. Anything else like Harvard related, really just happy to do anything. Please just leave me a comment down below, and yeah, make sure to subscribe so you get to see all the cool videos that I'm making, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!